This is going to be a series about everything I know about making and selling stickers. In this episode, we'll look at designing and setting up files for print. I'm Red Halftone, and I'm a designer and artist who often turns my art into merch. I think that stickers are an easy way to share your art with the world, and a great entry point into turning your art into merch, because they're relatively inexpensive to make, small and easy to store, and they're one of the simplest items to ship. So let's get into it. Mostly any drawing or illustration can be turned into a sticker, so where do you even start? The first thing I ask myself is, what would I want to see on a sticker? Things like relatability, humor, and human truths are all jumping off points for me. To further explain, here are a few things that I turned into stickers and why. These ones are human truths, and many people believe in karma and kind of agree with these sentiments. So these designs are pretty relatable for a broad group of people. Do you remember that campaign that Coke put out in 2010 where they put 250 of the most popular names on their bottles? If you were alive to remember this one, you might have dug through a couple bins looking for your name. People like things that are personalized or reflect who they are, so for this next one, that's kind of what I leaned into. Everyone has a zodiac sign, so I drew each one as an old school tattoo. When I shared these illustrations on Instagram, they got quite a lot of shares, so that told me that they would probably work well as stickers. The examples I shared so far are text plus an illustration combo, but I also think that sometimes keeping it simple is the way to go. For these ones, I chose some classic designs that people typically get as tattoos. I found that people are pretty simple creatures and they kind of tend to like the most obvious stuff. The sponsor of this video is Firesprint. If you're looking to print a lot of stickers on a wholesale level, Firesprint might be for you. These are some stickers that I printed on their gloss permanent laminated vinyl. Head over to firesprint.com to learn more and to apply for an account. And use the code in the description for 10% off your first order of up to $50 off. Okay, so you have an idea, but now you have to turn it into a sticker. If you're an artist, choose your weapon. I like to draw in Adobe Illustrator, but choose whatever feels best for you. Just make sure that if you're using one of the roster-based apps or you're traditionally making your art, set your canvas up way larger than you want your sticker to actually be. If you're working digitally, make sure that your file is initially set up at 300 DPI, but more on that later. If you're not artistically inclined, you can hire an artist, but let me let you in on some etiquette first. Reach out to an artist with your idea. Be professional and let them know how you intend on using the art that you're asking them to create. If you want to sell that artwork as a sticker, you have two options: licensing the art or buying out the rights to it. Licensing means you're allowed to print that piece of artwork and agreed upon a number of times in a particular format, such as a sticker. If you want to print more after that, you have to pay to renew another license. Buying out the rights to the art generally means that you can print it as many times as you want and reproduce it on whatever you want. But understand that a complete buyout is going to cost a lot more because of it. And for everyone's sake, please use a contract or get everything in writing. And lastly, I wish I didn't have to say this, but you cannot just pull images off the internet. They're not yours to use. Okay, so you created your masterpiece, but now we have to get into the technical setup. To start with, we have to figure out what size our sticker is going to be. We can approximate this for now. Usually a typical sticker is around 3 by 3 inches, but you can make it whatever size you want. I have Adobe Illustrator open and I'm setting my file up at 3 by 3 inches. Traditionally, you'd want your document set to CMYK for printing, but I've been finding that sending my sticker files in RGB often yields more vibrant colors with a lot of vendors, and I'm not totally sure why. Next, I'm pasting my art into this file and scaling it down proportionally by holding Shift to get it down to that 3 by 3 inch size. This is just my process, but I like to separate all of the colors and patterns onto their own layers. That way I can check that they're all the exact same colors and line weights. I can quickly select everything by choosing Select Same Stroke Color, and now I'm going to expand all of the line segments into shapes with Object, Expand, and then hit OK. Then I can merge all of them into one shape with the Unite button in the Pathfinder window. For text, I always outline any type so I don't end up with any missing fonts. You can do that by selecting the text and then going to Type, Create Outlines. All of my halftone patterns are set up as pattern swatches, so I'm going to expand them all. I'm doing that by selecting them all and then going to Object, Expand. Then I have to select each piece individually and hit the crop button on the Pathfinder window. It's always a good idea to expand line segments, text, and patterns because it mitigates the potential for any of these items to show up incorrectly on the printer's end. Now I'll make a new layer called Cut Line, and I like to specify the cut line myself. I do this by selecting the outermost edge of my drawing, and if you click on the outer edge of the shape enough times, eventually it will select only the outer path. Then on the cut line layer, I can paste that in the exact same place with Command F, which is paste in place, and you'll see it's just a solid shape. Then I can go to Object, Path, Offset Path to make that cut line. I usually turn that stroke of the cut line to a color that isn't part of my drawing, and I make the stroke 0.25 inches. Then I'll just slightly adjust the size of my artboards to fit the sticker. Shift O is the shortcut to edit your artboard size, by the way. And then lastly, I'll just move all of the art back onto one layer that I label art. And now this file is good to save out as a PDF or as an Illustrator file, and it's ready for print. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing for more content like this. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.